feeling? This time it was the rocks that hurt my foot. I hiked down to the back quarter of the water up there. At least a mile.
This week, the U.S. announced that ceasefire talks with blank would resume.
Israel?
Yes. On Tuesday, the International Monetary Fund said that global blank rates have continued to fall.
Interest.
Inflation rates. Is that the same thing? Last week, the BBC apologized after their weather app forecasted blank in London.
Pennies from heaven?
13,000 mile per hour winds.
That was my next guess.
Absolutely. On
What?
Thursday, the New York
13,000
Liberty
mile
was
an hour
honored with a
winds?
ticker tape parade after winning the blank championship.
WNBA.
Hey! This week it was revealed that the big secret behind a German restaurant's best-selling pizza was that it came with the side of...
Fish fries.
Pizza from Italy?
I know this one. You know this one? Yeah.
cocaine! So police said that anyone who ordered the number 30, they thought it was weird. It would come with like breadsticks, a drink, and like a bag of cocaine. And weirdly enough, the same thing happened at that Chuck E. Cheese where the animatronics band was really into EDM. Bill had it, Alonzo Duke.
4 right, 8 more points, total of 10 puts him in the lead.
Okay, Adam, you're up next. Fill in the blank. After an E. coli outbreak linked to the restaurant, blank said its food is safe to eat.
McDonald's.
Right. On Thursday, the DA in Los Angeles announced plans to re-sentence the Blank brothers.
The Menendez.
Right. This week, the White House confirmed that North Korea was sending soldiers to aid Blank's war against Ukraine.
Russia.
Right. On Tuesday, it was ruled that Rudy Giuliani must turn over his Manhattan apartment to the Blank workers he defamed.
Election workers.
Right. Weeks after it was discovered that many zoo pandas were just dogs in disguise, a shark at an aquarium in China was found to be a blank.
A panda in disguise.
What?
A panda in disguise.
What is that?
On Tuesday,
What do
LeBron
you think?
James made history by playing in an NBA
Pretty cool,
game
huh?
with his blank.
Son.
On Wednesday, a Polish radio station announced it had replaced all its journalists with blank.
AI.
Right. This week, it was revealed that a team of hackers successfully overrode robot vacuums around the country and forced them to blank.
Rise up against their human oppressors.
Forced them to chase their human oppressors' pets around the house. The company that makes the vacuum said not only were the hackers able to remotely control the vacuums to chase pets around, but they were also able to talk through the built-in speakers. Which raises the question, why does a vacuum need speakers?
If
No one's ever been like, man, I love my vacuum, I just wish it was loud.
if my Roomba's chasing my cat,
Yeah,
can
what's
I
that
call
all
in
about?
Sick in New York.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Bill, how did Adam
A little bit
do?
of road rage
6
there?
right, 12
20
more
passes.
points, and the total is 15 in the lead.
Ooh. Okay. So, Bill, how many does Helen
She had a
need
bigger car
to
than they
win?
did.
6 to tie, 7 to win.
Helen, you ready for the game? Ready. Okay, sis. On Wednesday, striking airplane mechanics again rejected a contract offer from blank. Boeing. Right. On Monday, aid workers warned of dire conditions for refugees.
She gets the easy
trapped in
questions,
blank. Right. On Friday, President Biden formally apologized for the government's role in boarding schools that stripped blank of their culture and language. Native Americans. Right. For the first time, Vice President Kamala Harris said she supported raising the blank to $15 an hour. Federal minimum wage. Right. This week, footage revealed a sheriff in Georgia had called in 3 deputies for backup when he blanked. Clogged a coverage options.
Is all this
based
gonna
on the
disappear?
driver's budget. Learn more at progressive.com
Or is this what they're gonna go for in the
1-800-Progressive.
future?
Price and coverage match limited by state.
All the infrastructure here
Wait,
will
Wait, Don't
stay.
Tell Me is a production of NPR
sure.
and WBEZ
Because of all the
Chicago
transmission
in
lines. I
association
don't
with
know.
Urgent Hair
So
Care
those are gonna be the next
Doug Berman, Benevolent
electric car
Philip
generators?
Limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shana Donald. Thanks to the staff and crew at the Studebaker Theater. DJ Liederman composed our theme.
All depends on what they plan to do with it.
Mills, Miles Dornbos, and Lillian King. Special thanks to Blythe Robertson and Vidium
They
Bazuna
might try to
and
figure something out to reuse the
This
building.
week, Peter Gwynn goes by Jules A.
I'm sure they
Gwynn.
will.
Emma
Giant
Choi
structure.
is our vibe curator.
Yeah, it's
Technical
a beautiful
director
structure.
is by Lorna White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillog.
This
and the
is-
executive
this is
producer of
nice
Wait, Wait,
one.
Don't Tell Me is Mike Danforth.
Oh my
Now,
God,
panel,
I can feel
what
the
will be the
electric
next
vibration
rule
screwing up my
after
body.
the airport? Lonzo voted.
Does that
But
sound
don't
like
you know who I am? People are not allowed to board the airplane because they don't know who they are.
right now?
If you get randomly selected for a pat-down inspection, the TSA officer first has to have a staring contest with you for 3 minutes.
And Adam Burke.
If your plane is a Boeing, your boarding pass will have a handy last will and testament printed on the back.
Well, if any of that happens, we're going to ask you about it on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, Bill Curtis. Thanks also to Adam Burke, Helen Hong, and Alonzo Boats, and thanks to all of you for
That was
listening.
all about.
I'm Jules A. Sloan, and we'll see you next week. This is NPR.
This is CPR News, 89.5 FM KPRN Grand Junction, 88.3 FM KPRH Montrose, and 88.3 FM KPYR Craig. On translators in Gunnison, K210BS 89.9 FM, Ray, K218BE, Parachute, K203FJ, Rangeley, K216BO, and Meeker, K216BP, and online at CPR.org.
Support comes from Jan and Associates, providing trademark, copyright, and entertainment law services for over 2 decades. Learn more at creative-thinkers.com. Jan and Associates, attorneys for creative thinkers.
Okay, y'all, what song is almost like always permanently stuck in your head? For me, it's unironically Kylie Minogue's 2001 hit, Can't Get You Out of My Head. And I bet now that song is going to be stuck in a bunch of your heads too. You can thank me later. I'm Brittany Luce. You're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR.
They call that
And
earworm,
everything I
right?
just said is pretty relevant.
Where a
Today
song
on the
plays,
show,
call that earworm, where a song plays over and over in your head.
Kylie Minogue, and asking her how she continues to make pop bangers after being in the game for 3 decades. I'm also talking about the music charts being stuck on repeat. The same songs have been dominating all year, and I can't help but think that the Hot 100 is stuck in a doom loop. What do you think?
little
We
bit
just need
demonic.
the comfort of familiar sounds,
Somebody
or
likes
is
Halloween.
there funny business at play? We're getting into all that and more after these headlines.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Nora Rahm. With Election Day in 9 days, Democrat Kamala Harris is in Pennsylvania today, seeking its 19 electoral votes. She's making several stops in Philadelphia, beginning at the Church of Christian Compassion. She told the congregation the nation needs to come together with kindness and compassion.
In this moment, we do face a real question. What kind of country do we want to live in? That's before us right now. What kind of country do we want for our children and our grandchildren? A country of chaos, fear, and hate, or a country of freedom, justice, and compassion?
Republican Donald Trump is holding a rally this evening in New York City, a deep blue city in a blue state. It's set to be an hours-long affair with a long list of special guests. NPR's Danielle Kurtzleben reports.
Trump supporters poured out of the New York subway Sunday morning, lining up hours ahead of Donald Trump's scheduled 5 p.m. speech at Madison Square Garden. The rally is a homecoming of sorts for Trump, who grew up in nearby Queens. Trump has done other New York rallies this year as well, including in the Bronx and on Long Island. A 3-hour program of speakers is opening for Trump, with House Speaker Mike Johnson, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk all slated to take the stage. Danielle Kurtzleben, NPR News, New York.
Israel is holding an official Memorial Day to commemorate its civilians, soldiers, and officers who were killed throughout the Israeli-Hamas war. NPR's Daniel Estrin reports from Tel Aviv. There were deadly new Israeli strikes in North Gaza in a truck ramming in central Israel.
Israeli police say a truck driver rammed into a group of people at a bus stop next to a military intelligence base, wounding several dozen people before armed civilians shot the driver. In Gaza, health officials report more than 30 people killed in Beit Lahia in North Gaza Saturday night. Gaza's civil defense first responder group says it's no longer able to respond to calls for help because of the intense Israeli military assault there. Israel is holding official memorial ceremonies marking the anniversary, according to the Hebrew calendar, of the deadly October 7th Hamas attack on Israel and commemorating those civilians, soldiers, and security personnel also killed in the past year of war. Daniel Estrin, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
The UN Security Council is expected to convene tomorrow at the request of Iran to discuss Israel's attacks on Iran this weekend, claiming they violate international law. The Israeli ambassador to the UN called it another attempt by Iran to harm Israel, this time in the diplomatic arena. Ambassador Danny Danon said Israel has the right and the duty to defend itself and to protect its citizens. This is NPR News in Washington. Japan held parliamentary elections today. According to exit polls, the Liberal Democratic Party of Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is likely to lose the parliamentary majority for the first time in 15 years. Residents of the northern Philippines are cleaning up after a deadly storm last week that triggered floods and landslides. Officials say at least 126 people are dead or missing. Large areas
got a natural climate control right there,
hampering rescue and relief operations.
Where they got that lot.
In the UK, King Charles is hoping to turn part of one of his royal residences into a place for weddings. Robbie Griffiths reports from London.
King Charles has submitted plans to turn part of the historic Balmoral estate in Scotland into an events venue. Charles wants to convert the Queen's Building, just meters from the famous castle, into a destination for weddings, dinners, meetings and other events. The planning application, which will be ruled on by the local Aberdeenshire Council, says the events will be rare throughout the year. The King has increasingly been opening up Balmoral since the death of his mother there 2 years ago, offering guided tours and afternoon tea to help fund the estate's upkeep. In Scotland, wedding venues do not require a licence. They only need a celebrant, such as a registrar or a priest. For NPR News, I'm Robbie Griffiths in London.
Earlier this week, it was Fat Bear Week. Now it's Bat Week, to celebrate bats and the many roles they play in the ecosystem. The international event is organized by conservation and government organizations across North America to show the critical importance of bats. Activities and facts are available at batweek.org. It ends on Halloween. I'm Nora Rahm, NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from BetterHelp, committed to making mental well-being a priority and offering support in taking on everything life demands, with therapists available to communicate via video, chat, or phone at betterhelp.com/public.
Hi, I'm Sonny Hutchison, and my wife Mariana and I are CPR leadership partners. In a media landscape filled with what I think is narrowcasting, catering to one point of view or political persuasion, CPR is still truly broadcasting, committed to expanding coverage across the state, providing stories that cover the spectrum, political, economic, and community issues, voices from all corners of Colorado. I urge you, if you can, to make that philanthropic donation at cpr.org.
Sunday.
Hello, hello. I'm Brittany Luce, and you're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR, a show about what's going on in culture and why it doesn't happen by accident. This week, we're connecting the dots between the music charts, vinyls, and another shot of whiskey. I know. How are all of these things connected? Well, we're going to find out with NPR music editor Stephen Towson. Stephen, welcome back to It's Been a Minute.
It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so good to have you. I got to ask you, though, before we get started with this conversation, what is the first record that you ever bought with your own money?
Well, the first album I ever owned that was gifted to me by my parents was Weird Al Yankovic in 3D.
Okay. Well, I think the first time I bought my own money when I was 10 years old, Ray of Light by Madonna. Clap to the Boy's Mind by Brandy and Monica.
Oh my God, those are great songs.
I know, and I still love them both. And fun fact, the Boy's Mind spent 13 years.